everybody. This is Carl, Chef Carl from Cooking and Grilling with Carl. I'm here with my wife, Carrie.
Hello.
And she made a wonderful cheesecake. She's going to share the recipe with you. It's a very tasty recipe, very simple, easy to follow. And so if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You're going to get more recipes like these, simple to follow. So we're going to get to making this recipe right after this quick introduction. All right, let's go over the ingredients for the strawberry cheesecake. Of course, you have fresh strawberries, some graham crackers, room temperature cream cheese, room temperature eggs, room temperature lemon, vanilla extract, salt, cornstarch, all-purpose flour, granulated sugar, room temperature sour cream and unsalted butter. And the equipment that we're going to be using, we're going to be using a stand mixer, a springform pan, and aluminum foil. So it's very important that all your dairy products and all your products in general are room temperature, all right, because it'll throw the recipe off. And you don't have to use a mixer. You can use a mixing bowl with a wire whisk, but you know we have one, so this is going to make life easier for us. All right, so that's all the ingredients for the cheesecake with the strawberry topping.
So first what we're gonna do is make our graham cracker crust. First we're gonna preheat the oven to 375 degrees. And then we're gonna use 12 whole graham crackers. I have it in this plastic bag so that I can use a rolling pin to crush them up really fine. So I'm gonna do that first, prepare my crust. And within the crust, you'll need some butter, okay? You'll need 5 tablespoons of softened butter, like a pinch of salt and some sugar. So I'll show you the measurements as we go along. So first I'm gonna crush up my graham crackers. So now the graham crackers are crushed really fine. I just took a plastic bag, a thick freezer bag, put the graham crackers whole in and used a rolling pin to make them fine, very fine. Okay, and that's how you want your crust to be. So next I have my springform pan. I sprayed it with non-stick spray. All right, and so what I'm gonna do now is line my springform pan with aluminum foil so that when we put the cheesecake in and we do our the water bath, that the water won't go through the springform pan because you know there's a crease there. So you just want to make sure there are no creases on the bottom of your aluminum foil covering. So you'll have to use several layers just to make sure it's secure. And make sure you use heavy duty aluminum foil. If you want some added protection, you can also put some wax paper in under the aluminum foil. That's up to you, it's optional. So this is what the bottom looks like. So just want to make sure no water seeps in. All right, so now I'm going to put in my graham cracker crumbs. Let's see how fine that is. Okay. And next I have 5 tablespoons of softened butter. Next, I'm gonna get 2 tablespoons of sugar. Just want to make sure it's level enough. And then 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So now I'm just gonna mix it all up. And if you like, you can make your butter softer by just throwing it in the microwave to make it more of a liquid. Okay, so now this is the consistency of the mixture. And so what I'm about to do now is pour it into the springform pan. And then I'm gonna press it down, and that'll make our crust. I'm just gonna press it down firmly. You just want to make sure it's even all over. Okay, so that's pressed down firmly. And now I'm going to put it in the oven. My oven's ready, it's at 375, and I'm going to put it in the oven for about 10 minutes. So now we're gonna make our cream cheese batter. All right, so we're gonna put our cream cheese blocks in. Okay, next we're gonna add our sugar. Then we're gonna add our flour. Okay. So now we're gonna mix it at low. And we don't want to overmix. So that way our cheesecake will be nice and fluffy and not stiff. We just want to make sure all of the ingredients are mixed together thoroughly. Okay, so the graham cracker crust is done. That was in here for about 10 minutes. And this is how it looks. So we're just going to set this aside while we make our batter. I also reduced the temperature down from 375 to 325. Okay, so now I'm gonna add in my salt, my lemon juice, and my vanilla. And I'm gonna gently mix that. For about 1 minute. And remember, you don't want to overmix. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna add in our eggs. We're gonna add them in 1 yolk at a time. You don't want to dump it all in at once. So with the mixer going on low, we're just gonna try our best to add them 1 at a time. And let that mix. Okay, Add in your next one. Let that mix. Add in your next one. Let that mix. Okay, now I'm gonna add in my sour cream. Okay, so right now I have my hot water going so I can make a bain-marie or a water bath for my cheesecake so it won't get overcooked. Okay, so now our mix is done. This is the consistency of it. You want it nice and smooth as you possibly can get it because you don't want any lumps in your cheesecake. Right, and make sure you scrape the bowl just to make sure everything is incorporated well, mixed well. Okay, so now we're gonna pour our mixture in with our graham cracker crust. And now we're gonna create a bain-marie. So I'm gonna take some hot boiling water and put it inside a pan. And I'm gonna fill it up to that point for right now. Put my pan in with my cheesecake. And this will help prevent cracking, okay? Okay, so I got my pan in. And I'm gonna add just a little bit more water. I just wanna make sure it goes halfway point. Okay. And now we're gonna put it into our oven, which is at 325. Okay. And we're gonna let it cook for an hour and a half. And whatever you do, try not to peek inside because if you let the steam out of the oven, it could ruin your cheesecake. Okay. So my husband is making the strawberry sauce and we got a pint of strawberries and so he's cutting up the strawberries finely. All right, so now we're gonna make our strawberry sauce. We're gonna pour all of our chopped strawberries into a saucepan. Okay, and now we're gonna put our heat between medium and low. Okay, next we're gonna add in a cup of sugar. This is about a teaspoon of lemon, and about a teaspoon of vanilla.
Yeah, you just say a couple splashes.
Okay. All right, and we're gonna stir that up. And once the sauce begins to form, you can taste it and add more, you know, sugar or lemon or vanilla as you would like. So we're just gonna let that cook, stir that up good, and then just let it cook. So this will take about 10 minutes to make. Okay, so as you can see, our sauce is forming. Okay. So we're just gonna let that cook, let your strawberries cook down. Okay. All right, so now our strawberry sauce is bubbling. So I'm gonna start out with half a teaspoon of cornstarch to thicken it up. A little goes a long way. So, you know, I'm gonna start out with half a teaspoon, stir that up, see if I like the consistency. If not, I'll just add in some more. After this, I'm gonna throw this mixture into the blender. You can leave it like this if you want to, but I'm gonna throw mine into the blender to make it more of like a syrup. Okay, so it's still a little thin. We'll give it a little bit more time to thicken. Okay, so now this is the consistency that we have. Okay, if you want it thicker, you can add, you know, some more cornstarch, but just do it little by little. All right, so now I'm gonna put this in a blender. If you don't want to blend it, you don't have to. You can leave it just like this.
And
just be really careful because
the thing about it is, if you're gonna blend it hot, make sure you have a blender that can take heat. We're using a Vitamix, and the Vitamix is used for heat, is for hot or cold. But all blenders aren't for hot or cold. So if you don't have a blender that does hot or cold, then let it cool down and get the room temperature first, or you're gonna have a,
Okay, so this is our sauce. That's the consistency of it. It's all blended up, and we're just gonna put it into a glass bowl for it to chill. Okay, so our cheesecake is done. It was in the oven for an hour and a half, and it looks good. Looks perfect. Okay, so you see how it's jiggling in the middle? That's what you want, okay? Because that shows that it's not overcooked, okay? And when it sets, and it'll be nice and moist. So I'm just gonna let it sit here in the bain-marie for about 45 minutes, let the water cool down, and then we'll take it out, remove the aluminum foil, and then let it set on the counter for about, you know, another 30 minutes or so, and then place it in the refrigerator for 8 hours. And then it'll be ready to enjoy. Okay, so now after taking it out of the fridge for over 8 hours, we're gonna just go around and loosen the cheesecake just to make sure it's not sticking to the pan. Okay, so we're gonna take our springform, release it, right, and that's it, all done.
Here you go, cheesecake with my wife Carrie, New York cheesecake. You know, pretty simple recipe. Just follow everything that she showed you. So I just want to thank you again for coming to the channel. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get uploaded when I upload new videos. So I appreciate your support. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. But anyway, you know, just let me know in the comments if you like the video, if you try some cheesecake, and you know how it comes out for yourself. And I'll catch you on the next video. God bless, stay safe. See you on the next video.